Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ask Grit, episode number 26. Good evening, Shine.
Good afternoon, Navin. Actually, good afternoon to Sri Lankans and good evening to Melbourne and Australia. We got a few very good questions lined up for you, Navin. Pretty interesting questions that developed over the course of this week.
Yeah.
Some from new clients, some from existing clients. Wanting to find out. So these questions actually will help the people understand, what they need to know when it comes to this very foreign idea of investing in Australian properties. So let's ask away, right? Shall I start with the first question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. The first question is, what is the current state of the market? Has the continuous lockdown and rise in cases have any impact on the boom that we're experiencing now?
We have had rising COVID cases. We have had lockdowns. We have had an earthquake yesterday. But property market doesn't seem to slow down at all. It is the case in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and even Adelaide. So none of the lockdowns or cases have slowed it down. Because I think people understand the fundamentals are pretty strong, and everyone knows the interest rates are really low as a local. And it will remain low for the next 2 years. And it's the best time to buy, and it's the best time to get the equity of the existing houses. And so a lot of people are investing right now. So the short answer is no, it has not slowed down.
Excellent. So the second question is, what are the most important considerations for a foreign buyer when investing in Australia?
I think the most important thing is to understand what their final outcome they want to achieve is. If it's investment, then we can guide them through on which properties, which states, and which suburbs to invest on. And it might be the objective is to get their son or daughter to university and get them housing, or they might want to migrate to a certain state or city and they want housing. So based on the objective, the outcome they need, then we can definitely help them.
Right. In terms of the loan, now that's another question when it comes to financing. Now we know that foreigners can go up to 60% financing, in some cases even 70%. So what would be the typical requirements for a foreign buyer to get a loan, and what is the maximum loan term?
Yeah, so the requirements are you need to show your income. So any foreigner can buy a property, any foreigner can get a loan from Australia. The requirements are they need to show their income in their home country, wherever it is, through payslips, bank statements, their typical identification documents, credit reports, and along with the rental appraisals as well as the contracts of the property which they're going to purchase. And then the lender will evaluate all that and then grant the loan. The loan term typically is 30 years.
Right. So the client has the option of going up, maybe not going to the maximum of 60, but if he wants a 20% loan, that is possible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
If he wants the term reduced to 15 years, is that also possible?
Yeah. So typically, what we advise is get the loan for the maximum term, then they can pay it off any point they want to, so that they have the flexibility of low repayments, and then they can pay it off any point they want with a minimal discharge fee. So there's no huge penalties for paying it off early.
Brilliant. Next question. If we buy a property outright, will there be any additional taxes? Also, how does income tax work in that situation? I'm guessing this is for a foreign buyer.
Yeah, if you buy it outright, there's no change in terms of taxes. Your stamp duty will be the same. Your all the other foreign investment review board fees, everything will be the same. There's no change at all. In terms of taxes, the income tax, if it is 18,000 or less, your net income, then you don't have to pay tax. But if it is more, you will have to pay tax. So if you buy something in Sydney, for example, if it's outright, your net rental income will be definitely over $18,000. And then based on the tax bracket they are fitting, they will be paying taxes. But apart from that, there's no change in stamp duty or anything like that.
Okay. All right. And who will monitor the progress and release of the payments now? I mean, let's say that somebody has bought a property and they are going, they have chosen the finance option, and who is going to monitor and the payments and the release of the payments?
So typically what happens is if it's a house and land scenario where you get a block of land and build a property, there are 5 stages in construction. And at the end of each stage, the builder will invoice the client with a copy to us as well. And then they expect the payment to be made. So at that point, I mean, as their partner over here, we will also monitor the progress. But more importantly, if there's a loan involved, bank will also monitor the progress and make the payment upon the authority of the client. Excellent.
Right. Okay. Very interesting question from a customer of mine who's in Sri Lanka. Since we are not in the country, that is in Australia, Grit Property as our agent will look after all our interests with regard to the whole project. That's a question. Is there an agreement between Grit and us outlining this?
Yes, the answer is yes. Yes and yes. There will be an agreement where it outlines all our responsibilities and duties, and we will sign that with each investor so that everything is black and white and it's clear cut from the go.
All right. Okay. Few tough questions now. One more. Once necessary approvals are in place to purchase the property, and once we have the title under our names, will there be any impact due to any unforeseen government policy or regulatory changes?
No, once you hold the title, it's I mean, as you know, it's a freehold title in most states of Australia except for ACT or Canberra. Once you have the title and once your name is on the title, nothing can change. Absolutely not. No.
Right. Okay. All right. There's another question by Mr. Periya Peruma. All right. The plan says there will be a 1 to 2 year guarantee for all appliances and a 10-year guarantee on the house structure. It also indicates that we do not have to expect any repairs until 4 to 5 years. If they do occur due to negligence by tenants, is there a provision to claim such damages from the tenants?
That's a very good question. It's so we always advise clients to get something called a landlord insurance, which means if there is a damage to the property which cannot be claimed by the bond, the insurance will kick in and that can be claimed. So say, for example, a tenant has left the property, we do an exit inspection, and then we find out there's so many damages which has been caused by the tenant. If it cannot be covered by the bond, which is in place, which is typically 4 weeks, then it can be claimed from the insurance.
Right.
But
so
if it is wear and tear, then typically you don't get much repairs up to 4 to 5 years. But if they do occur, not because of tenant's fault, but wear and tear or malfunction in the unit, whatever it might be, then it is a responsibility that cost goes to the landlord.
Understood. And 2 more questions on insurance cover by the same client. So the builder will construct the house complying to all health and safety standards stipulated under Australian law that are required to obtain a comprehensive insurance cover. Please confirm if this is true.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I mean, everyone is very, very big on ONHS, so occupational health and safety, and they follow very strict guidelines, each builder, and definitely.
Lovely. Okay, another one on natural disasters. Does this also include a cover for any natural disasters and the full cost of the house? Is it covered by the insurance if such a disaster happens? In case of such a disaster, banks, will they freeze the mortgage payments? How does it work in a case of a natural disaster?
In case of a natural disaster,
it's a good time to talk about this, right?
Yes. Yeah, timely question. With natural disasters, it is covered by the insurance, of the building insurance, and whether the banks would freeze the mortgage. Let's say the house burns down, and if you require another 6 months to build it up again, it is not written anywhere saying that they will freeze it, but most often they will hold it, but they'll cut the interest later on, but they'll hold it because of the circumstances. It's definitely through negotiation, but there's nothing written anywhere saying that if that happens, we will freeze the mortgage.
Right. Also, we have a question from a potential investor, a person who is looking at the option but has not made the move yet. What are your thoughts, Naveen, on a potential investor not being able to travel to Australia due to the current restrictions? Should he or she wait until borders open, or is it wise to invest before seeing the property? I think all our customers from who are outside Australia have this question and this thing lingering at the back of their head. Should they move forward if they cannot travel right now? Do they have to wait until that time? What is the confidence we can give them?
Which is a fair concern, because it's nothing like coming and seeing the property or the location. But with the current situation, where we are at right now, what Australia is planning to do is to open up everything, they say by Christmas or by, I think, January 2022, to be a safe bet, it should open up. But even if not, with the current market, which is how it's going, it's definitely best to buy right now. But it's all about education about the location, education about the property, education about the process. And that's what we are here for. And we are here to educate people, investors, on the whole process in terms of numbers, location, through videos, pictures, whatever they might need. So we can provide everything they need, but we totally understand it's nothing like coming and seeing it and touching and feeling something. But with the current circumstances, it's definitely good to buy before they open up, because you never know when that's going to happen. Although they say it's going to be December, January.
And I think you'll miss out on the good prices that are available now. By the time you get to go to Australia, you're going to pay quite a bit more.
Yeah, the way things are going, it's not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
And I think it also helps, Naveen, that most of the Sri Lankans, they have people who they know, either kin, family in Australia, who can visit these properties. We can take them, give them a tour. Whoever the family they have, friends they have, take them to the site, show them around, give them a good idea of this place, and then they can relay that information back. So I think that is also a good confidence booster to people who are not able to travel, at least for now.
Yeah.
We also do virtual tours, right? I mean, we do our own videos for clients. Once the project is done, we do go drive to the site. We do a video like you just did for one of very, very top clients recently. Show the completed house, and they were blown away. They were over the moon that they got a beautiful house done so soon. So things like that, I think we can do for people who are unable at the moment to travel to Australia. I'm talking about the overseas plans.
Exactly. I mean, we will do whatever we can and give as much as information we possibly can, as well as in terms of features, numbers, whatever which is required to make the decision.
Okay, there's a question now that just popped up. Are you guys licensed?
Yes, of course we are licensed. We won't be able to operate without license. Yes, of course.
So that's how it works in Australia, right? You need to be licensed in order to practice or convey any advice.
It's very, very regulated. It's not everyone can get the license, you have to have some experience, you have to do a course, and you have to follow some guidelines. And it's very regulated, and you cannot jump around that.
Lovely. Navin, one more question regarding the rental yields. What would derive the best rental yields at the moment? If you look at the next 5 years, what, in your opinion, would it be a townhouse, an apartment, or house and land in a nearby suburb would give you better rental yields given the current situation and what we can expect in the next 4 to 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, the best rental yields are in Canberra right now. You're looking at 6 to 7% returns of the property value. And the reason for that is the rentability is very, very quick. The vacancy rate is less than 1%. And the reason for that is Canberra, the income earning capacity is much higher than the other states, as well as there's a lot of government jobs there. So the stability of the economy, stability of the jobs of the people, and there is definitely undersupply of apartments and houses there. So Canberra, vacancy rates are very low, as well as rental yields are around 6 to 7%.
Lovely, lovely. That's it from my end, Navin, in terms of questions.
Yeah, there's one thing which has as a foreigner, you have to pay a higher stamp duty. Is there any way around it? So there's a couple of ways you can minimize stamp duty. Say, for example, there's a completed brand new property for 600,000. You will be paying stamp duty on the 600,000. Whereas if you build a house on a block of land, which is called a house and land package, you are paying stamp duty only on the land value. So it might be 300,000 for the land, 100,000 for the bill. You'll be paying only 300,000. So there's 50% savings there straight away. And the other option is if you invest in Canberra, you're paying only 3% as opposed to 13 or 14% elsewhere. So those are the best way to minimize the stamp duty. Either invest in Canberra or go with the house and land package so that you can minimize the stamp duty. That's a very good question.
If you could sum up, Navin, for a foreigner, let's take a typical example of a foreigner trying to invest in Australia. The biggest question they have when they're in the beginner stage of asking questions is what are the overall taxes and what do I need to pay extra as a foreigner?
Yeah.
So they think that in certain countries you invest, you pay a thumping amount of tax. I mean, I don't even want to bring Sri Lanka into the context because you know how much we have to pay if you're a foreigner investing in Sri Lanka. But if you're investing in Australia, when you're encouraged to invest, what would you typically pay?
No, it's there's only two extra fees that you have to pay. One is the stamp duty. You have to pay if it's Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. You're paying extra 7 to 8% in stamp duty. That's one aspect. The other aspect is the Foreign Investment Review Board fees, which you pay for the government as a foreigner when you get the Foreign Investment Review Board approval. If the property value is less than $1 million, you pay 6,350. 1 to 2 million, about 12,750, and 2 million to 3 million, 22,000. I think goes on. But those are the only two fees you would pay as a foreigner. While it looks like it's a big amount, if you're, I mean, as an investor, but it's a long-term game. If you plan to keep that for 10 years, and with the returns you're going to expect in 10 years, the fees you're going to pay would be quite negligible in the long term.
Brilliant.
Very good questions.
Yeah, the questions keep getting tougher every week, isn't it now?
Good, that's good. All right.
We see a lot of client engagement, so questions keep piling up.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we will be having a webinar which we walk through a lot of strategies which, as foreign investors, you can use to build a property portfolio. So we do webinars every 4 to 5 weeks. We have one coming up on the 1st of October, which is a Friday at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time and 4:30 Sri Lanka and India and about 3 p.m. in Dubai. So it should be there's an event on Facebook page, or feel free to reach us out. We'll send you the link to register.
Yeah,
Thank you
make
so
sure
much.
you take
and-
part.
Sorry.
I was encouraging the people to make sure they take part, keep that date free, keep it locked and loaded, and we hope to see them there as well.
Excellent. Yes, because the focus is going to be on Brisbane, because there will be 2032 Olympics coming up. So the topic is, will there be a property boom because of Olympics 2032? We'll leave it at that and let people figure out what's going to happen at the webinar.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.